at the right time with the right individuals. So I'm really excited and honored to be on here. So I thank you, Junior, again for having me, for trusting me with the individuals who trust you. I appreciate you all for taking the time out of your day to get on with me to learn just a little bit more about how all of this works. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. For those of you who don't know me, you'll get to know me very briefly inside of this. Let me move this out of the way really quickly. So, my journey, I got to change these numbers now because I'm heading into 7 years of educating and 8 years of trading. And, my journey started a lot like all of you. Actually, it might be, a little different than some of you because I said no to trading when somebody brought it to me. Which is, I crack up every time I say this, and I'm smiling right now because I can only imagine if I would have committed to that no, where would my life be? What would I be doing? Right. So I laugh every time I say it, but my husband started learning how to trade and he wanted to learn how to invest, how to make our money make money. And he brought this information of trading to me, and he opened up a chart and showed me, and I kind of looked at it sideways and was like, I'm making six figures at my job, I'm good. And but you definitely do that because I saw something, I didn't believe it was for me. Interestingly enough, I saw like this is valuable, you can make your money make money, you can learn how to invest, like that's all great stuff, but I said no because I didn't believe I could do it, which is, I pushed my husband, like, yeah, you go do that. But for me, no. And I ended up losing my job. So this is me at my call center. This is me working a normal. It wasn't a 9 to 5. I was working like 10 hours, 8 to 10 hours a day because I was in sales. So I sold car and home insurance. So I never did anything in trading. Never opened up a chart. Never did anything in stocks. Knew nothing about this world. Crypto stocks, nothing. And my husband got involved, and he started learning how to trade. He brought it to me almost immediately. I told him no, and interestingly enough, I lost my job after coming back from maternity leave. So I had my second child, which is this little guy here. We had our second child. I went back to work. He had showed me this while I was on maternity leave, and I told him no. And then when I went back to work, I worked 8 days and I lost my job. I got fired from my job. So the six-figure cushy income that I was sitting on, that I was had so much faith in, and I told my husband no to this information, had just got pulled right under me. And I cried. I cried going home because me and my husband just had our house built. We just had a second child. Our life was based off of both of our incomes. There's no way. Like, he makes really good money. I make six figures. He's making close to multiple six figures. And we built our lifestyle off of that. And I was very successful in corporate America, but I lost my job. I lost my job and I made a decision that day. I made a decision that I didn't want to be away from my son. I didn't want to be away from my kids. I wanted to be a full-time mom, but I decided that I just didn't want to be a full-time mom. I wanted to be a mom that would set the pace for her kids. I wanted to be a mom that would inspire with purpose, with vision, with mission. So I called my husband and I told him what happened. And I told him, what was that thing you were trying to show me? Yeah, I want to go all in on that. And the rest is history, guys. I went all in. Like I promised my husband, I made a huge promise to him that I was going to bring him home from working his job and his successful career, because I believe that both parents are very important in the home for both of the children. So we got to do that. And interestingly enough, me and my husband had never got on a plane together. And we were together at that moment for 7 years, and we never got on a flight together. We never traveled anywhere. We made all this money, but we never had time. So it was interesting that this opportunity came and we started to travel, we started to experience things, and we started to get our time back. We started to get our freedom back with our kids, with our experiences, and with our life. And within my first year of trading, I want this to be very, very crucial. My story is very different. It's very Very, very different. But I want you to understand, I committed a lot of time to learning. I committed 16 hours with a newborn baby crying all day and all night and still committed to learning this information. So I had no excuse. I didn't make an excuse because my accountability was always in front of me every day. I had a daughter I had to take to kindergarten, and I had a son who was with me all day, every day, needing me every minute of the day. And as he cried all hours of the night and I got no sleep, I studied. I got on the charts. So I would spend 16 hours a day on the charts learning this information. And it only took me 3 months to learn this information and become successful in it. And it took me 1 year to start teaching on a platform that globally really impacted people's lives. And that's documented. Took me 1 year. Can you imagine somebody came to you and said, hey, look, we want you to teach people all around the world, but we need your documentation, we need your stats, we need your trade history, we need your withdrawals, we need your account history in order for you before you can do any of that. Can you imagine somebody told you that your first year? Could you pull out the receipts? Could you pull out the receipts? But I could. So I did. And the rest is history. I've been able to impact lives all around the world. My kids are getting older and I haven't missed a beat in their life. And that's all I wanted. That's really all I wanted out of this. I wanted to make enough to where I could be home, make enough to where I retired my husband the first 2 years. It took 2 years. I retired him. He trades full time. I trade full time. So we both trade full time. It's very fun in our house. It's very funny at times too, because he might yell at me and be like, "You ain't give me that signal," and I'll be like, "Yeah, but you can get your own signals because you know how to trade." But it's very interesting, our dynamic. But we were able to do this for our family, and I love every minute of it. Right, I get to spend every minute of the day with my family, with my best friend, my husband. We get to invest in other businesses together, and we continue to pour into our legacy and our children. And that's all I want for every last one of you, is to be able to find something that can be simplified in a way that you can have your freedom back and you can have experiences where you can set yourself up for your future, whether that is for whether you have kids now or your future kids, right? That is for your bloodline to continue. I'm thinking legacy when I think of this. So when J7 was born, it was born with the idea of freedom, maximizing off of pips, good R to R, and consistency. And it takes some work ethic to get there, but I promise you, I simplified it in a way that a lot of people have been able, whether they're new or not, have been able to really take this information and start to duplicate it. So, what is the J7 strategy? Well, it's called Gyra 7. Gyra means that the Lord will provide, and 7 means that it is complete. Because I believe that you speak things into existence. And I believe that when you put labels and names on things, it creates a movement. And names are really important. And God is the center of my life. And He's the center of why I was able to create this strategy. And He is the reason why I have the brain that I have and the mind that I have when it comes to this opportunity and the purpose that I have inside of this space. And I believe that, it's also means to see the unseen, which is very interesting because I teach you guys reversals. So to see the unseen. So I show you things that are not seen in the market and I help you guys see them in the market, even with my trade ideas, because reversals are not that easy to find inside the market. So it is a reversal strategy. All we're doing is identifying the trend change before it actually changes. Okay, so we're getting in very precise areas. We got to understand things in order to do that. It's meant to capitalize off of pips because I want you guys to have your freedom back. I want you guys to be able to maximize off of your trades, but make more than enough to where you're not overstressing yourself, to where you're kind of one-eye William while you're sleeping, looking at it. I want you guys to build confidence in what you guys are seeing so that when you're in the shower, you don't got to grab your phone about 5-10 times because you're in a trade. When you're going to sleep, you don't got to go to sleep knowing, hey, you might have to go to work at 6-7 a.m., but from 11 to 6 or 7, you've woken up 6, 7, 8 times looking at your phone because you're in a trade. I don't want you guys to do that. I want you guys to have confidence. I want you guys to have freedom, and I want you guys to have consistency. So that's what this strategy is meant to do. It's an intraday and swing style strategy. I use it more on the intraday side. I do use it sometimes on the swing side, but my husband uses it on the swing side. He has more temperament than me. I'm mainly on the intraday side. This strategy can be used on any pair. So it doesn't matter what pair you're looking at. You can use it on any pair. It is time tested through any market conditions in any pair. So you can use it on any pair that you want. The risk to reward at minimum to your exit one should be a 1 to 2, meaning that we're working smarter in the markets, not harder, right? We want to be in the right position inside the markets, and risk to reward allows us to do that so that we don't put too much stress on ourselves when it comes to accuracy. Now, I say that, and it's ironic that I say that because I am highly accurate, but I prioritize people understanding risk to reward because that is where their profitability will begin. And then they can work on their accuracy, because accuracy really just comes from your discipline of being able to follow your confirmations just that consistently. And that just takes time. But risk to reward, if you know how to do that right away, you'll start to see profitability. And that is the key inside of our space is we don't want to be perfect. We just want to be profitable. So it is a naked style trading strategy. And this is the foundation of it. Market structure is really important. We want to identify where we are in the markets, whether we're in an uptrend, downtrend, consolidation. It's really important for us to know that. Daily key levels is our daily levels that a lot of you will fall in love with over time if you haven't already. And what we do there is we identify swing levels, the highs and the lows. We find specific price point areas from those highs and lows, but you got to know where you are in the market. So you want to look at where your current daily candle is so that you can see where the current movement of price is, especially if you want to do it in an intraday style. And then you want to see the area where the markets have responded or bounced multiple touches repeatedly from where your daily is. All right. Structure levels are just identification of the shift in the trend so that we know that we're on the right side of that momentum, because we're going to be in it before the momentum comes in. So we just want to make sure that the market is breaking those structure levels. If you ever hear BOS, break a structure, we want that to happen so that we can find continuation and visibly see that we are in the right side of momentum, so we can continue to add positions, add re-entry positions, and stack orders so that we can kind of maximize off of that one pair. And then price action. Price action, we want to look for signs of price turning, like price rejection. You want to recognize engulfing candles, which are just full body candles, no wicks. Just helps us see that momentum's going our way. And my tip is do that on the 1 hour so that you can avoid a lot of fake outs, a lot of things that can stop us from really winning in this space. Okay. So this is the beginning, and I talk about this and I pound this in a little bit very hard on my students because market structure is a crucial foundation point. Doesn't matter what strategy you're learning, doesn't matter where you're learning from. The reason we know how to buy or sell is because we understand market structure. So it's a foundational piece. So not just a foundational piece at J7, it's a foundational piece across the board when it comes to trading, because it helps us to decide what side of the market we want to be on, right? So what most people know as market structure is uptrend, downtrend, consolidation. What most people miss inside of market structure are pullbacks, corrections, and reversals. Now, I trade reversals, so it's kind of important that we know this other side of market structure so we can bring the picture together. So when I say, hey guys, do you understand market structure? I'm not just talking about, hey, do you understand uptrends, downtrends, and consolidation? I'm talking about, hey, that's great, you know that, but do you know pullbacks, corrections, and reversals? Because in order for you to know market structure, you need to know them both to truly understand where you are in the market. So that is the complete picture of what market structure is. It's both. And we're on the side where the reversals are. So it's kind of important that we know where that is. So what is this daily key level? This is very fun when you get it. It's very fun when you get it. It takes time to get it, but I promise you that time that you put in on the charts to learn this daily level will be worth it. In risk to reward, it'll be worth it in money. It'll be worth it in your experience in the market. It'll be worth it from not stressing yourself out anymore. I'm just going to simplify this so easily, but it's going to be very, very powerful. I like to call it, we're simply effective. It's simple enough for you to understand, but it's going to be very, very effective when you start learning it. All right. So these are what the daily levels are. They're actual genuine reversals in the market. So there's specific points in the market where we're going to zone out so that we know that we're no longer buying this market. We're no longer selling this market. Right here is where the market's going to turn. And this is the outcome of what it does day in and day out. And I've been doing it for 7 years, heading into 8 years. So I know the stats pretty well. And I promise you, once you get there, it's going to be very, very rewarding because you're going to be able to maximize off of your market ideas. Even if you're doing it in an intraday level, you know where the markets are turning. You're going to know how to capitalize off of that continuation. If you're a swing trader, you're going to love it because you're just going to maximize off of pips continuously. And this is what you see inside the market. So I talk a lot about the daily because the daily is a sweet spot. A lot of people want to know how to read a market and they want to know where the money is going to be, but they generally don't know where the money is. And that's kind of hard to know where the money is going to be at if you don't know where they're at. Does that make sense? So I pound higher time frames because if people would just go a little bit up in their time frame, they would, how do I say this? They would avoid a lot of mistakes that they will make naturally as a human, not necessarily strategy wise, but naturally they will avoid a lot of errors that we can make as a human if we just look and see higher time frames. Okay. So this is very, very important if you want to be on the right side of the market before the market comes in. So a lot of people want to be in the market with, I want to be, I don't know if you guys want to be, but I want to teach you guys that I in where the big money's at before the big money gets in. Does that make sense? So like I want to get in this market before the big money starts to come in the market because it's fast, it's fun, it's exciting, but you're going to maximize off a restore and you'll be in the best entry position and you'll be fine. But you do that based off of higher time frames because you got to know where they are in order to understand what they're doing. Does that make sense? Most people want to understand what they're doing, but they're not paying attention to where they are. So I'm going to teach you guys how to do that very, very simply. So as you can see, there's your daily level and there's your reaction right off of it. There's your daily level in a 1 hour and there's your reaction. So before the money comes in, I want to be in it. And then after that, we can follow structure. We can follow trend as it breaks, the continuation. We'll do all of that. We're going to follow all of that. So really quickly, because as you guys know me, most of you know me, I like to walk it like I talk it. See, I don't just talk it with you guys. I like to actually do it. And I don't just do it by myself. I get to do it with you guys, which makes it a lot funner. Makes it a lot exciting. It makes it very, very fun trading for me. So these are trade ideas that I've given in real time with real markets that look a little crazy sometimes, right? They do look a little wild sometimes, but these are daily levels that I've given ideas off of. So I don't just teach you guys the daily levels and I don't just teach you guys how to find them, but I give you the formula on how to find it so that you guys can start executing it in real time. Does that make sense? Because to the left, this is an indice, it's on the 1 hour. So both of these time frames, they're both the 1 hour before and after is on the 1 hour. So I enter a lot on the 1 hour. You don't have to. You can always drop it to lower time frames to just get a little bit more, rejection, a little bit more confidence with more candles to pull the trigger. I've been doing it for a long time on the 1 hour, so I just pull the trigger. So this is where risk reward comes into play. This is where your daily comes into play. But this is where you have to understand where you are in the market in order to know where the market's going to turn. So to the left, on my left, this one right here, is that a really bullish candle? This is a really bullish candle. Would y'all agree? That is like very aggressive. Completely aggressive. It's like it's coming at us. How many people would actually get in a sell on a market that's doing that? How many people would actually be like, yeah, right here at this zone right here, I'm just gonna sell it. Me. I'm the crazy that does that. So sometimes, and I'm saying that laughing, because sometimes when I give you guys trade ideas, they're going to be from these daily entry points. And I don't want y'all to look at me like I got 5 heads. Everybody always looks at me like I got 5 heads. I know. They're like, Nina, what is she doing? Like, that is a very bullish candle. This lady's insane. I'm not doing that. And then they learn to trust me over time. And then they learn the strategy and they start getting why I'm doing what I'm doing, right? But the higher time frames are the reason that I'm doing this. And knowing where I'm at and knowing where the levels are and knowing that and being able to reprice kind of just brings the whole picture together. So this is what it looked like before. And that same very, very, very bullish candle just deflates. and hits all of our targets with a 50 pip stop loss. It was actually under 50 pips. The 50 pip stop loss. It was really 42, but give or take 50 pips. 50 pip stop loss on an indice. And it's in this crazy area, but that's because it's the daily. So that is the power of learning higher time frames. That is the power of learning J7, but that is the power of learning the daily key level that we teach. But it's not just the daily key level. It's the market structure of understanding where you are. It's the confidence you're going to build over time to execute in these areas so that you guys can do this for yourselves. Does that make sense? This is another entry off of a daily level. This is another idea that was given. So any examples that I give when I'm teaching you guys the bootcamp in J7, they're all examples of live analysis that I've given via an app to you guys. And it's all with good risk to reward ratio. I would never cheat you on risk to reward. I believe risk to reward is what keeps us in the game. It's what keeps us profitable. So it keeps us going and consistently compounding our accounts. So it's very, very important that we know how to not just use risk management, but also know how to utilize risk to reward. So this is a style that we use in J7 so that we can maximize off of one pair. We can use risk to reward, and it's not going to take a long time. If it's at a daily area, she's going to react. And she's going to give us a lot of pips, and it's not going to take her a whole lot of time to do it, especially in these volatile pairs. She's not going to take a whole lot of time to do it. But a lot of people think like currencies or majors, they don't move a lot. They don't. And we can catch a lot of pips off of those same things. So these are just analysis off of the daily. So you see this is where she's at. I'm telling people to buy, and there she goes. She takes off. That's a gold. This is another entry zone off of a daily level. She had already rejected it previously. And that is her R to R to give us a 1 to 10. This is another insane. People thought I was crazy. I know, but they loved me after, I promise. But this was a daily. The market has to come from a strong trend, especially when you're looking at daily reversals, where they're going to turn, where they're going to turn this market. It has to be coming from a strong trend in order for the reversals to actually be valid. And then you utilize, okay, where's my swing low, swing high? Where's my daily low, a big daily candle? Where's the most touches from that area? The more touches it has on the daily, the stronger the level is, because that just tells us higher time frames, you want more touches because you want more data points so that it lets you know basically in history what price has done here and it doesn't want to be here. That's really what it's telling you on higher time frames. The more touches it has, the stronger the level it is. And that's the before, and that's the after. And just like that, 700 pips in about an hour and 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Because it doesn't take long to catch a lot of pips on volatile pairs. But here's the AU. It works. It works. It works on currencies. It works on gold. It works on indices. Gold is really funny because gold was at a new high. It wasn't, there was no price there. There was no price data. There was nothing there. That's probably the only pair that I would ever do that to you guys on, where it's at a new high and there's nothing there, no data there that I would tell you guys, hey, we're getting in this sell. Because gold is just a pair that I've been with for a long time. So I understand it intuitively on another level. So that was at a new high, and just call me the crazy lady at this point, but that was at a new high. But I'm teaching you guys how to see the unseen, because there was no price there. There was no data there. She was creating a new high, and I said, hey guys, we're going to sell it right here. And it magically just sold. No, that does not happen in the markets. The markets do not just magically want to give you money. You have to learn to analyze it. You have to learn to read it. You have to learn to understand it. And then we protect ourselves with stop losses and risk to reward and risk management, right? But I did that helping you guys understand that I'm going to show you guys things that you may not see initially, and then we're going to help you see it. That is the whole thing. So with me, this is why J7 was completely born, is because I wanted my freedom. And as I give you guys ideas, as I share with you guys how I do these ideas, how I share with you guys risk to reward and how to maximize off of a market, how to maximize off pips, how to get accurate, as I start to develop the education to teach you guys this, It also was strictly learned from me. So when I started learning, remember, I wanted my time. I didn't want to sit in front of a computer all day. Some people have time. Some people have never worked in front of a computer screen for 10 hours plus for, 7, 8, 9 years. So they enjoy sitting in front of their computer for a few hours. Me, I didn't. So I wanted to know how to trade, whether I was about to catch a flight, whether I was going to be sitting by the pool, whether I was going to be out and about with my kids, whether I had to just run errands and go to the grocery store, go to doctor's appointments. I never wanted to stop my trades or my trading just because I had to go do something. I had to go do something outside of the house. Because honestly, as a parent and just as an adult, period, there's responsibilities you have every single day. And it can get hectic some days. And I didn't want to stop trading and stop compounding my money because I had to run some errands, because I had to go to a doctor's appointment, because I had to go take my kids to school and pick them up early or whatever may happen through the day. I wanted to continue to have my ability to trade while I was away from my computer. So these ideas, and you'll notice majority of the time will be off of, it'll look like this because it's the app from my phone, the TradingView app from my phone. So I mark up on my phone and I send ideas from my phone to you guys because that was my freedom in trading. I wanted, what do you want trading to do for you? How do you want to visualize trading? Do you want to sit in front of your computer screen for the next 15 years for X amount of hours? That is your vision. Do it that way, make it a routine, make it a schedule, and do it that way. If you're like me, that you're like, hey, look, I got a lot going on every day. Things can happen, but I don't want to miss my opportunities. I don't want to stop trading. I don't want to stop making my money. Then J7's for you. It is something that I've been able to do a lot. It's something I continue to do. My husband actually laughs. He's the only person that gets to see me at 100% of how I do everything. And he laughs sometimes because he's like, if people could really see, you're sending these ideas to them and you're literally like you're nowhere near a computer like and he laughs and I'm like what was so funny because that's how I train myself. So when you think about what you want to do in trading and how you want it to look like, think beyond today. Think beyond right now. How do you want trade? If you want to travel a lot, you want to learn how to make sure that you can learn trading so that you can be consistent and not jeopardize your risk to reward, not jeopardize the amount of pips you want to catch, not jeopardize the style that you want to be inside the markets. And that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to be accurate. I wanted to have R to R, but I wanted to do it in freedom. So a lot of times I'm marking up and I'm marking up straight from my phone to you guys. And that's just how I like trading. I like doing it that way because I know as a mom, as a wife, as business, like this day to day can get very, very hectic, but I don't want to stop doing my life. The important thing to trading is knowing yourself, knowing what you want out of this, knowing what it looks like. And I saw this for myself before I was actually there. Before I was consistently profitable, before I had super good accuracy with good R and what I was averaging in the markets. Like I saw this for myself way before that. So I started doing what I needed to do so that I could create the life that I wanted to create, but even go a little deeper. Like ask yourself, do you want to be in front of a computer screen? Because I didn't. And I made my trading around that, and I don't jeopardize my risk to reward, and I don't jeopardize the amount of pips I catch, and I don't jeopardize my freedom that I wanted to be away from a computer because again, I was in front of a computer for a long time. Results are based off of where you want them to be. Now, this is very interesting because we're 7 months into the year. And you want to get to long-term results, long-term consistency, long-term growth. You want your charts of your data to look like uptrends. You're going to lose some, but you're not going to lose a lot. You're not going to lose your whole account. You're not going to lose chunks of your account. You're going to know how to consistently grow your account over long periods of time. That is when you know you've made it in trading. So you're going to get to a place where you can flip accounts. You're going to get to a place where you'll make some money. But the ultimate place you want to be is where you can compound your money over time. In at the end of the year, what does your account really look like as a whole, as a whole picture? What does it look like? And the goal is to get it to where it looks like a consistent uptrend. And I like showing graphs of my accounts because it shows where everything, if I were to blow this account, this line would go like this, and then it'll look like it's down and then it's coming back up if I'm trying to go. But mine looks like a consistent uptrend. And that's the part mentally that I want you guys to get to. I want you guys to get to a place where you visualize what you want out of trading. You start to study it, you start to apply it, because it's not just visualizing it, it's putting in the work in your education to know it and to do it consistently. And it's for me, I like getting to the roots of the problem. That's why everything's so simplified for me. So the strategy is very simplified in terms and verbiage, but it's very, very complex when it comes to what we do inside the markets. And that's the place that I want it to be. I want it to be where it's like, yo, the newest person to come on here, they could see this, they could say, you know what, it's not overwhelming, it's not too much, but it's working, and it's working consistently, and it's making sense to me. And that's all I wanted, because if it would have made that much more sense a lot faster for me, I would have never said no. It intimidated me, and I was like, no, right? And this is just what you need to know about yourself when it comes to being consistent. You want to know which average on risk to reward you're catching. You want to know how accurate are you in the markets. You want to know how many pips you catch overall. You want to know how much your average wins look like. So if your average is that means some are a little bit and some are more. So my average pips are 331 pips on average. So I know that about myself. And the more you know yourself, the better you get inside of this place. And the more you hold yourself accountable, the even more disciplined you become. So as you're learning and growing, start to envision what you want to see. How do you want to see it? These are all trade ideas. So I was actually at a race with one of our racehorses, and I gave this trade idea. By the time I went down to go see him run, this was already done. I was updating the app to let everybody know, like, everything hit. We're already done. It hit 1, 2, and 3. By the time I look back at my phone, and I'm literally this is what's happening in the charts and in the world and what I'm sending in an app. And this was where I was in real time at that moment. In real time, I was outside. This is where I was. And that is what trading is to me. Trading is freedom. Trading is leveraging a market so you can compound your money and enjoy life. Trading to me is creating the life that you want. It doesn't matter if it's not this crazy super luxury life at the moment. That's okay. Like, nothing was super luxurious at the moment of anybody started their trading career. But over time, can it get to the goals you want? So create short-term goals as your skill sets of where you are, and then continue to push yourself into your long-term goals. Push yourself into the vision that you really want, and hold yourself accountable through that whole process, so that, one, you don't quit, one, you don't doubt yourself, and then you continue to push yourself, because freedom is worth it. What you can do inside the markets and how the markets work and how you make your money is worth it. It didn't matter to me if it took me 5 years, 10 years to get this information. I was willing to continue to learn and learn and learn, and hold myself accountable and push myself on days that I didn't want to do it, on days that I was tired, days that I doubted myself, days that I was frustrated. I continued to push myself because of these humans that are in my life, my husband and my 2 children. There was accountability for me every single day. So what is your accountability every day? What do you want to do? And can you get there? Yes. The answer is yes, yes, and yes. So results are not just, pertaining to myself, especially as an educator. My results are great. You got to see that I do exactly what I say I do. I can compound over a long period of time. My graph looks like an uptrend because I'm not blowing my account. I'm not over leveraging my account. I'm very consistent in what I do. You've seen my accuracy. You've seen my average pips. You've seen my stats as a whole. And that's great for me, because now okay, if I follow her, remember, you can only duplicate what you are, not what you pretend to be. So if I follow her, okay, I could get there. But there's also other things that you can follow to help you get there while you're learning, and while you can earn while you learn. And these are just product app experiences. These are real people's real results in real time that are learning. They're not professionals yet. They're not in a place where they're consistently compounding. They're not in a place, they're just learning, and they're plugging into a system that's going to help them get the cheat code. Like I don't know how much else I could say this. It's like it's a cheat code. If you just step out of your way sometimes, you can help yourself make money. If you just say, no, I'm gonna learn, but I'm also gonna use the services and products to help me make money while I'm learning, because I'm going to get this. I'm going to get to a place where I'm going to know this, but I'm also going to follow somebody who already knows it. Like if I could go to college and the professor could just open up the book for me and be like, hey, look, this is your test. This is your exam. Here's all the answers to the test. I would be dumb to say, no, professor, I don't want the answers to the test. I just want you to teach me, and then I'll have to learn the answers on my own. I would be like, no, 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 no. Give me the answers and teach me, because I do want to know this information for myself, because education is priority all the time. But let me help you. Let me help you through this process. And these are just individuals' results that have been able to utilize apps products. And now this is the duplication of their learning. Is J7 duplicatable? That was the biggest question I had when it came to me being an educator. Is it simple enough that the newest person can come in and duplicate it? Is it duplicatable to individuals all around the world? Is it duplicate? Is it something that people could plug into, that they can actually learn from, that they can actually do on their own, that they can actually follow a system and a step by step and do it? And the answer is yes. These are real students, real trades, real setups. I didn't give them not one. I gave them the system of the strategy on how to do it, and they go and they do it. And these are their results. So now that's interesting. Remember, I said I want y'all to maximize off of the pairs. Remember, I said I want y'all to catch a lot of pips. Remember, I said that I want y'all to have good risk to reward. All of these images reflect the very same thing that I teach. Reflect that their R to R is good, the amount of pips they're catching is good, their entry is precise, and they're maximizing off of their moves in the market day in and day out. And this is happening with people all around the world. I've been doing this, heading into 7 years. 8 years I've been trading by myself, and 7 years I've been helping students all around the world do this and get this in a simplified way. When a new student can come in and say, hey, I took my first trade, not on my demo account. I've been practicing on my demo, but I'm confident enough now on my live account. And I took my first trade on GJ and it went for 113 pips to my TP. That gets me excited. When a student turns around and tells me, they told me in the beginning they couldn't do this one specifically, we had conversations where she was like, I don't know if trading's for me. I'm going to get started. I'm going to do this. And then she was telling me, Nina, I don't know if I can get this. I don't know if I can get this. And I kept telling her, if you trust me and you follow me, you will get it. And she messages me to this day. She still sends me her screenshots to this day. She's still actively learning to this day. She's still watching J7 and still doing this to this day. And she catches 700 pips in her pair. She likes SPX in the pair that she likes. That is exciting to me as an educator. That is what excites me to lead people in. And when J7 is duplicating, when it has been consistent, it has been consistent through different market conditions. It can help the newest person to an advanced person understand this information. That is where you have something very, very special as an educator. And that is where I want every last one of you guys to be. That is what I want every last one of you guys to do. I want you guys to get consistent. I want you guys to be long-term successful. I want you guys to be dominating in the markets. I want you guys to be better than me inside of this space, inside of the markets. But J7 is something that can help a new person, and it's something that excels advanced people. It's something that I've seen people say, hey, Nina, I'm capped at this figure and I can't figure out how to get to the next level. And then we help them get to the next level. So I've seen it across the board educating. I feel like an old lady at this point when it comes to educating, but I've seen it across the board from new people getting to a place where they're good and they're consistent and they're doing very well for themselves. And I've seen people who were doing very well for themselves get better and do better. So I've seen it on all ends of the board, and I'm just appreciative of what I'm able to bring to the marketplace. And I'm really excited for every last one of you that are learning, that are going through the boot camp, that are committing to the process, because trading is a process. But I promise you, it is a process that is worth it. Every minute of it, every time that you feel a pain, every time that you get frustrated, every time that you doubt, every time that you question, it is worth it. I am the only female educator. I'm the only educator on the Forex side giving you guys Zen Ray ideas at the moment. That is not by accident. That is not by accident. I am very respected inside of this trading space as a female inside this space. They don't even look at me like a female. They're just like, yo, she's a beast trader. And respect is earned. It doesn't matter if you're a male or a female. Respect is earned in this space. It's not given to anybody. It doesn't matter who you are. So even though we may be in a male dominant space, I never looked at it like that. Like, yeah, I saw the numbers were male dominant, but I also said, you know what? There's an opportunity. There's an opportunity for a female to come in and dominate too. And as long as you're doing what you say you do, respect is given. People will respect you for exactly who you say you are because you are being who you say you are. And it doesn't matter if you're a woman or a man in this space. It doesn't matter. People will give you your respect. I can tell you that from my mouth to your ears being the only female educating thousands of people for a long time, understanding that has nothing to do with me being female or male, whether people respect you or not. It has everything to do with how you carry yourself, your character, and what you say you do, you actually do. And that's really what people care about. So respect is earned in this space. And don't look at it like, hey, look, I'm a female or I'm a male, I'm not sure, or I'm this or I'm that. The Forex markets do not discriminate across the board, and neither do professional traders. Professional traders in this space, they don't have ego. I just want to let y'all know they don't. If they see you're doing what you say you're doing, they give you respect. They don't even care what your strategy looks like, how many pictures. They don't care because as long as you're doing it at a capacity to where it's respectable and it's honorable, they're going to respect you at the end of the day. It's like any other place or any other environment. So if you're a female on the other side of the screen, I encourage you to continue to do what you said you were going to do when you came here. If you're a man on the other side of the screen, I impact men and women. I don't discriminate because I'm a female and I say, hey, just women empowerment. I believe in empowerment as a whole. I believe that I am here to empower men and women. I'm here to change the next generations and legacies of individuals all around the world, regardless of their age, their demographic, where they grew up, what struggles they have, what struggles they didn't have, where they come from. It doesn't matter to me. I know that God called me here in this seat for a reason, and it is to help people. Doesn't matter where they come from, doesn't matter what they look like, it doesn't matter their background, it doesn't matter what they've been through or not been through. I am here to help everybody get to the next level. I'm here to push the next person to their next level. I'm here to rise the next individuals up. That is what I'm here to do. And ego doesn't get you there. It doesn't. I've seen people fall on their own sword because they become too ego. And it's like there's no point because guess what? There's enough money to be made in these markets for all of us. All of us can make more than enough money. You don't have to be stingy with my strategy, and I don't have to be stingy about what I do. I don't have to downplay what anybody else does. I don't have to say anything about anybody else because I know what I'm here to do. I'm here to impact. I'm here to go to the next level. And the reason that I said yes to Zenrai is because everybody else is on that same page. There's every educator from corporate to education to the leaders, everybody knows that the vision here is to impact people. The vision here is to get out of our own way so the next people that are ready to rise and step up into their place get in their place. That is our job. Our job is to help other people get to the place that they need to be. Our job is to duplicate with the best education. And I can confidently say across the board, doesn't matter who you learn from, you're going to be learning valuable information that are going to help you duplicate inside these markets. It doesn't matter who you pick. It doesn't matter who you follow. I can honestly say that you will get results regardless of who it is. And that's what I believe in. I believe in a vision of setting a standard inside of this trading space that pushes people to excellence, that pushes people, that pushes the narrative of what trading has become across the world. We are changing the narrative back to what trading truly is. And it is actually executing what you say you're going to execute, actually giving the value of saying what you are, and actually leveling every single body up around you in excellence. That's what I believe. And I believe at Zimri, that's what we're going to do. Because I don't know about you, we kind of got a cheat code with our whole roster. We're kind of like, this is kind of like, this isn't fair to some places. It is not fair. But I believe that we all stood up and took a stand as educators to say, we want to make this standard of trading a whole nother level. We want to bring back what trading really is and what it can do for people, because we've seen it in our own lives and we have the results to back up what we're saying. Every last one of us. And that's what I believe here at Zenrai. And I'm super excited to be here with all of you, but that's just my spiel. I'm done. I'm done with my spiel. I'm excited for every last one of you to start jumping in to the boot camp, to start jumping in to your education, to start jumping in to the markets and executing, because at the end of the day, I could tell you a lot of things in the market and I can explain it and I can be elaborate, but if I cannot execute it for you guys, that's a problem. So I believe in execution. So I want you guys to go out there. I want you guys to learn. I want you guys to grow, but I want you guys to apply everything you're learning and do it at 100% every single day. And I can almost guarantee you that you will be a lot better than where you started. And that's it for me, guys. I appreciate you guys so, so much. And I'm so excited to see every last one of you really grow and go to the next level. So, Junior, do you want to